We're speaking with Robert Tannenhauser. He's with a group called Boefly, which puts together small business people who would like to borrow and banks who would like to lend. And I guess there's a problem making that match. I mean, people aren't just able to walk into their local bank these days and sit down with their banker and get a loan.
That's true. And, often their banks are capital constrained, the small community banks, or if it's the larger banks, their loan doesn't fit in their credit box and, just doesn't get the attention that they need. We're finding in our matching that borrowers from one state are getting multiple indications of interest from lenders in, 100 miles away, 10 miles away, 500 miles away. So, we are helping, bring them together and bridge that gap.
Well, it gets to what we were talking about just before the break, and that is whether lenders have tightened their standards. In the time, well, first of all, how long has Boefly been around?
We launched on March 17th of this year.
Oh, so it would be wrong to ask you how much of a change you've seen in lending standards over a period of time. But the Fed's senior loan officer survey suggests things are getting a little better. When you deal with banks, are they a little easier to deal with than when you first started out?
It depends upon the banks. Some banks are looking for certain types of products, others aren't. And they jump in from one criteria to another depending upon what their concentrations are, which is why you need access to a broad range of institutions.
What can different institutions offer me? Is this a bit like when I'm trying to get a mortgage and a mortgage broker would apply to different mortgage lenders who have different kinds of products? Are we talking about different kinds of products? Are we talking about banks with specialties in certain areas? What are you looking for?
It's kind of both. I mean, you'll see different types of products and different types of specialties from different lenders. Again, they set the criteria, the lenders. The borrowers, in accordance with what they fill out in their application, is then matched to all the lenders that fit that criteria.
Well, when people are out looking for loans now, is it also a matter of rate shopping? Is it like mortgages where you can have banks that offer different mortgage rates? Or is what you pay going to be pretty much the same from bank to bank? It's more like, as you say, categories who lend to certain categories, things like that.
I mean, to a certain extent, for a very, very strong borrower, you might see rate shopping. But for most of the small business borrowers, they just want to get that loan and get it closed and get on with their business.
Well, what do you pay for a loan these days in the small business sector? I mean, what kind of rate or spread or, how expensive is it?
Well, an SBA loan, for example, under the 7A guaranteed loan program, you can pay up to 2 3/4 above prime floating rate. And it depends upon your, the credit worthiness of the borrower. It can obviously be a lot less than that.
And how much trouble are people having getting loans these days? The NFIB survey said 91% say their credit needs are met or they don't want to borrow. Is it really a problem? Are you bridging a real chasm between borrowers and lenders, or are you making the process easier?
Well, we're doing both. I mean, we do make the process easier, but if you look in from May to June of this year, when the SBA incentives, the guarantee dropped from 90% to 75%, there was a 2/3 drop-off in loans that were committed to by lenders. It went down to $600 million. So there is demand out there, and we see it on our website, that there's tremendous demand. So we do bridge the gap, and, I understand that people feel there is not a demand, but we're not seeing that at all.
Guy down in Washington was complaining a lot recently about the people he worked with up on Capitol Hill unable to pass a small business bill, which they finally got around to. How much is that going to help, and where does that fill in the gaps? How do you fit into that?
Okay, that will be tremendous for Boefly. As I said, when they dropped the guarantee from 90 to 75%, loans dropped to 2/3. We should see that come back. Unfortunately, that 90% guarantee disappears in December. It took so long to get the legislative done, but hopefully they'll extend it past that time, and we expect to see a big increase in loan volume as a result of that.
And there are some other aspects of that bill that are theoretically going to provide, extra credit to small businesses. Is this the problem solver? Is this going to get small business over the hump, or is this just sort of a patch in this kind of economy these days?
Well, it's going to help. Again, you need to get the small business borrowers willing to take that risk to borrow more money and expand and create jobs, and you need to incentivize the lenders to loan money. We're incentivizing the lenders under this bill by giving them a higher guarantee, increasing their liquidity with the $30 billion, and we're providing incentives for the borrowers by giving them the carryback of tax credits and the upfront write-offs of certain expenses, increasing depreciation. That puts cash in their pocket and liquidity. And it also brings investors into the small business arena by giving them the capital gains free pass for if they hold on to investments in small business companies for 5 years. So I think it's giving everybody something to take that step and get capital flowing again and create some jobs.
All right, before we let you go, I got to ask a business-related question. How do you get paid?
Ours is very simple. We don't get paid on a per-deal basis. We're subscription-based, very low subscription price. For a lender, $165 a month. For brokers that are posting loans, $55 a month. For service providers, appraisers, environmental firms, $35 a month. We don't look into their pockets when they close a transaction, so it's kind of a cheap subscription membership group.
I can understand from the bank side, and even from the appraiser side. From a customer side, how often would they likely to come back for more loans?
Again, they can come back as often as they want. Again, they can come through a broker or they can come on individually. It's slightly more for a borrower to post a loan individually because we want to make sure that we're getting real serious borrowers on there. We don't want to disappoint our lenders.